Everybody says that Southeast Asia is the next big thing. You know, there's like 600 million people, a rising middle class, untapped markets, and it sounds like a gold mine, but here's something that nobody tells you. Doing business in Southeast Asia is really, really hard. And unless you understand why, you're gonna burn a lot of time and money here. Let me explain. Now, the first thing to understand is that Southeast Asia is not one market. It's like 11 countries, each with its own language, culture, currency, religion, tax system, government, and internet habits or behaviors. There's no Southeast Asian playbook. What works in Singapore might flop in Jakarta, what works in KL might fall flat in Manila, and you really have to localize everything, which means you're basically running like 5 or 6 startups at the same time. And to scale, you need like local teams, local partners, and local marketing, and that takes like capital, patience, and a deep local understanding. And I'm telling you all this because I've experienced it before. In my previous company that I started from startup to IPO, we were in like 9 different countries around Asia, much of it in Southeast Asia as well, and I went through a lot of these roadblocks that really makes you want to tear your hair out sometimes. And to be honest, we lost money in most of the Southeast Asian countries that we went into. Now, Southeast Asia is also very fragmented, right? So let's say if you're launching an app in the US or China, it's fairly straightforward because it's a fairly homogeneous market. But in Southeast Asia, you'll need like 5 different languages, different payment methods in every country, local logistics partners, regulatory paperwork for each border, and wildly different cultural and consumer habits. Even the address formats are not standard across all the countries. So think of Southeast Asia like a jigsaw puzzle where the pieces don't fit and you can build something beautiful, but you really can't force a one-size-fits-all solution. It's like trying to scale 6 different companies at once. And it doesn't make it any better that some of the countries are smaller than others. So you might get some scale in some countries, but you might not get it in another country. The other thing that people underestimate about Southeast Asia is that Southeast Asia is still a low-trust, high-context environment. So business is still built very much on relationships, and contexts don't always protect you. Deals can fall through sometimes just without an explanation. And sometimes things only move when you know someone who knows someone. Not necessarily corruption, but just relationship-based businesses. And you know, follow-ups matter more than anything else sometimes. It also doesn't help that the infrastructure is just not uniform. Southeast Asia is modern and underdeveloped at the same time. In KL or Bangkok, you've got like 5G, high-rises, cashless payments. But yet, in rural parts of Indonesia or in the Philippines, cash is still king. So some cities run on e-wallets and others rely on SMS-based banking. You can't automate what doesn't exist yet. So when people say just scale across Southeast Asia, they're assuming a level playing field, but that playing field doesn't exist. If there's something Southeast Asia is known for, is that we're known for bureaucracy. In every different country, you have different labor laws, foreign ownership caps, product import restrictions, multiple agency approvals, and sometimes the rules aren't even written down. You just find out when someone at the counter says, oh, you need this extra thing, and now you're delayed for another 2 weeks. Some countries are really easy, like Singapore is like the most user-friendly to an outsider when it comes to bureaucracy. Malaysia is pretty good too, you know, but some can get really detailed, like Indonesia might bog you down. It totally did bog me down when I was doing business there. Southeast Asia also has a massive young population, but finding skilled, reliable, and aligned talent is really tough. So yeah, a lot of people think that labor in Southeast Asia is cheap. Yes, that is true. There is a lot of cheap labor in Southeast Asia, but if you're looking for the higher end management kind of people, they don't come cheap. They are really expensive because they're hard to come by. And so scaling here isn't just about like building a product, it's about like finding the right people, and sometimes you really have to pay through your teeth for it. So why is there so much hype? Because Southeast Asia looks like China did maybe 15 years ago, and everyone thinks they're early. But here's the kicker. Southeast Asia doesn't reward fast movers, it rewards like local understanding. The region has incredible opportunity, but you really need to earn it slowly and patiently and really one market at a time. Many of the best talents actually leave for Australia, Singapore, or the West, right? So hiring actually takes time and training even longer. And maybe why Southeast Asia is so hard is because it forces you to be good. You know, you can't write on funding, brand, or just shortcuts. You have to listen, adapt, and prove your value repeatedly. And maybe that's not a bug, but that's a feature. And if you're successful in Southeast Asia, and a few companies have been successful in Southeast Asia, it really is a barrier to entry because it's not easy for anyone else to be successful in Southeast Asia. So the rewards there are really encouraging. So if you found this valuable, I have more coming. Subscribe for deeper dives into how business really works in the region. Not the brochure version, but the real one. Thank you for watching.